Welcome to the Lego City of Brickenham. Over the last year, the city has grown from a single modular building to the bustling metropolis we have today. But we have a long way to go, so let's join Simon and Mary as we continue our journey to Brickenham. In our last 4 episodes, we focused on adding smaller modular buildings onto Market Street. Today, we're going to be adding another custom modular building, but this one will be much larger. And because this section of the city is the shopping district, we decided to design a department store for the citizens of Brickenham. The inspiration for this mock came from a store called Le Bon Marché, which is in the Saint-Germain area of Paris. The design of the building showcases some of my favorite Lego elements for creating architectural detail. But I also used a couple of elements which were newer to me, and we'll touch on that later. Now for this building, I actually designed it in reverse, starting with the roof section instead of the first floor. My inspiration for the roof was set 21353, the Botanical Garden, with its transparent curved panels, which will allow light to stream down into the building. Now while the building's color is tan, I unfortunately could not find the arches in tan at a reasonable price, so I substituted white for the time being. The tan arch elements are on order from Lego, but as they are not a bestseller, it may take a few weeks to receive them. And when we do get them, we'll replace the white arches to match the rest of the building. Now roofs are a great place to add greebling detail to a mock, and I used a couple of my favorite elements to achieve this. The first was part 2540, the modified plate with bar holder and free ends. When placed next to each other in a long line, it creates a really nice effect. We then added brackets for some snot work, which we'll see shortly. The second element which I used for detail was this simple modified plate with clip. When you place 2x tiles on top of the clips, it creates another nice detailing effect. And finally, we placed this modified curved slope on the snot brackets to finish off the roof. Though it was first introduced in 2004 and has been used in over 1,000 Lego sets, it's not an element that I've used before. With the roof section completed, well, semi-completed until we get the tan arch pieces, let's look at the first floor build. As we discussed before, the footprint of the building is quite large, 60 by 36 studs. The walls will be 2 studs thick. We used another 2 of my favorite detailing elements, the 1x1 round plates sandwiched between 2 1x2 modified plates with the door rail. Next, we laid out the floor plan with tiles, and then got to work on the exterior, using 1x2 jumper plates in dark azure to offset the windows from the exterior walls. Now I wanted to create large picture windows, so I used this 1x4x10 windscreen, which has only been used in 7 official Lego sets, and thus they were quite pricey at over $3 per piece. We then placed jumper plates lengthwise across the top of the windscreen, which allows 2x plates to be placed on top and gets us back into phase with the exterior walls. Next, we used the D-snot piece to add more depth to the framing around the windows. Because the stud on the side of the D-snot piece is aligned with its bottom, you can put a tile on its side and it lines up perfectly with the plate beneath. This creates a 3-tiered offset between the tiles on their side, the plates beneath, and the jumper plates beneath those plates. We then finished framing off the windows with some more snot work, pillars on either side, and 1x1 round plates above. These Technic beams in the middle will provide structural support for the second floor, but they'll also serve another purpose, which we'll get into in a bit. Finally, we added awnings over the 2 entrances, some cheese slopes, and then tiled off the top to complete the exterior of the first floor. Now, department stores often have escalators, and this one is no different. The top of the escalator is pinned to the Technic beams to hold it in place. I got this design from AFOL TV and only had to modify it slightly to fit the building. We'll show close-ups of the finished first floor interior towards the end of the update, so stay tuned. Moving on to the second floor, which has a cutout in the center to create an open feeling and allow light in from the transparent section of the roof. The exterior will again be 2 studs thick, and will again utilize the technique of round plates sandwiched between 2 layers of modified plates with rails. The window design, however, will be a bit simpler with archways flanked by inset pillars. Now let's take a closer look at the interior of the first floor. I haven't been able to complete the second floor interior yet, mostly because LEGO messed up a couple of my pick-a-brick orders. There were some missing pieces in one order and some parts that simply were not shipped in another. I'm hoping this is not a trend with LEGO, but let me know in the comments if you've noticed something similar recently. And finally, let's place the store in the city. I think it's a worthy addition to Brickenham, although those white arches are really bothering me. But hopefully the tan arches will arrive soon and we can fix the roof section in time for the next update. And speaking of the next update, we're going to shift our focus to the other side of the city and start extending Holt Avenue to the edge of the west side table. But we're going to build the road on an incline up to the first elevated portion of the city. There will be some illegal LEGO construction, so be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of it. And click on the left for another city update, or click on the right for the entire Building Brickenham playlist.